joined now by Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein of California. Senator Feinstein, by raw numbers, there are more so-called dreamers in your state than any other. So let me ask you this. Is funding the border wall something you're willing to accept if it means protecting those under DACA?
Well, I think it's an unnecessary ask, candidly. DACA has passed the Senate, but we spent days and weeks on a comprehensive immigration reform bill back in 2013. I'm the ranking member of Judiciary. That's where we did it, in that committee. And we passed out a comprehensive immigration reform bill, and it got 68 votes, and DACA was part of that bill. So that bill is available. It can go to the floor. It can go to committee and be marked up again. There are those two possibilities. But we can do this. We can mandate it. We can pass a bill to make it the law. And that's what we need to do, and we should do it. And so I believe that every senator should stand up and take this vote now. We've got 800,000 young people. We've got 300,000 of them in my state alone. You've got 90% of them who are employed or in school. They are constructive, want to be citizens of our country, and DACA gives them a way to do that.
I understand you want it to be standalone. I think in a perfect world, I'm sure there are others that would like that too. The way Congress used to work is everything, there was give and take on a lot of things. And I know the idea of give and take anymore is the good old days of how Congress worked. But I guess I am curious, how much give is there with you and other Democrats?
Chuck, we could put more. I can put an agricultural reform bill into this, which would get all of the ag states, because it would give those undocumented that work in agriculture a legal certification to be able to continue that agricultural work. Absent it, every ag worker is illegal in this country because there is no legal workforce. So we could fix that problem. We could fix EB-5. We could fix H-2A. We could do a number of things, but we have to move quickly. And I think the first one that we need to do is assure these 800,000 young people that they are going to remain in this country, and we are going to pass legislation to do it. I believe that legislation will pass the Senate. It passed it before, and I believe it'll pass it again.
How quickly should this happen? You guys got a lot to do. You got Harvey aid. You've got to keep the government open. You've got the debt ceiling. It looks like John Cornyn has said that the debt ceiling raise is going to be part of the Harvey package. Should Democrats make DACA part?
Yes.
Should Democrats make DACA part of the Harvey package?
Well, maybe if that's what it takes, yes. If we put Harvey in, we put DACA in, we pass the debt ceiling, and it's done. That's a way. I actually haven't thought of that before, but I'd be for it. And I'd be for putting it on the floor alone, because I believe it will pass. We have a majority of the American people in every poll saying they would support it. In California, it's extraordinarily important. You have over 50 CEOs of big corporations that have written and said, these DACA workers are good workers. We want them. They're going to contribute to the economy.
Was DACA legal?
DACA was executive order. Legal is the law of passage of something. There are 10 attorneys general that are prepared to sue. I don't want to get into that. The point is DACA is here, and we've got 800,000 young people. Well, your answer
indicates, though, that it's on shaky legal ground.
It is. That's why we need to pass a law, and we should do it.
Before I let you go, I got to ask you about North Korea.
Okay.
There seems to be, you heard Nikki Haley, the ambassador to the United Nations, she's arguing for more sanctions, even acknowledging that, at what point that sanctions don't appear to be working. What's left in the arsenal here, in the diplomatic arsenal, that hasn't been used that you think could actually make progress here and have North Korea stop this?
Well, we've had 6 underground nuclear tests now. The last test tested at a higher level than both bombs in Japan, Nagasaki and Hiroshima. So the last test would kill over 200,000 people. I think we're at a time of crisis. I think that Secretary Tillerson ought to move forward. I think he ought to enjoin the highest person he can in North Korea and sit down with them. No conditions. I think, why are you doing this? What do you expect to get out of this? Except we are not going to let you fire a nuclear bomb at the United States of America, North Korea. Be assured of that. We are not threatening regime change. I have not heard any public figure talk about regime change. But what we are talking about is how to settle this. What does it take to settle it? What does North Korea want? None of us have any idea of what that answer is, and we need to find out. And the dear leader needs to know that by doing this, you're not telling us what your need is and what it is you want.
How could we be this far along and not know from the Chinese what they want? I mean, isn't it basically survival is what he wants?
Well,
and he thinks that without the nuclear weapons, he looks at Gaddafi and he looks at Hussein and he says, well, they're gone.
Yeah, he doesn't want regime change. Well, I have not heard anyone in this country talk about regime change. So before he does something really stupid, really crisis breeding, and really breeding a response, I think he ought to say what his concern is. And there's no better way to do it than a no-condition-based discussion. And I think the time has come from that. I think Secretary Tillerson and the administration ought to move to do that. A mistake in the nuclear area, as I've said before, there is no limited nuclear war. And it's Armageddon. And we have to understand that and know it and do something about it, and it can be done.
Senator Feinstein, I will leave it there. Democrat from California.
Okay, Chuck.
Thank you for coming on,
Thank you.
sharing your views.
Right.
Appreciate it.